Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Venomous Swan. I'm Erica, and today I want to share with you another one of my favorite books, We the Living by Ayn Rand. Now this is the second book I ever read by her. I read it before I read Fountainhead, before I read Atlas Shrugged, and I just fell in love. I fell in love with her writing, the plot, the characters, everything. It's an amazing book. I remember being in my bed, not wanting to move, not wanting to get up, just reading, and hopefully you'll love it too. So Ayn Rand wrote the book about 1936, which is a year after her play Night of January 16th came out on Broadway. Yes, she writes plays, she writes short stories, they're all amazing. If you haven't seen the play, please go see it. I saw a local production a few years ago, loved it. Anyways, so We the Living takes place about 1922 to 1925, post-revolutionary Russia. The revolution was about 1917, 1923, and if that's a timeline that interests you, you will love this book. I love that kind of timeline, kind of revolutionary Russia, pre-revolutionary Russia. So if you like it, you'll love this book. Anyways, there's a whole list of cast of characters in the book that I think will love, you'll hate, but I'll just share them with you. So Kira is an 18-year-old. She's young, she's the protagonist, she's fiery, she's vibrant, she's passionate, she's a bit wild. And I know you're thinking, hello, this is a Soviet state book, how can you have such an individual in the book? But that's exactly the struggle. Then you have Leo. You can look at him in opposite of Kira. He doesn't quite have that drive or the passion that she does. He doesn't know how to live for his desires like she does. And he's just very angry at the Soviet state with, rightful cause. Then you have Andre, who is a Communist Party member. He believes in communism. He thinks communism is going to make the world better for everybody. And he's, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about it. Then you have Pavel, who is a communist member party, but he just doesn't really believe it. He says everything that he needs to say, and then he, moves on. Then you also have Irina, who is Kira's cousin. She wants to be an artist, and she's passionate about living her life that way. And she has a boyfriend who, Sasha, who's a rebel against the state. So of course, that's very interesting. And then Irina has a brother, Victor, who I think is a major prick, and you'll have to read the story and find out why. But anyways, again, if this plot line really interests you, you will love the book. It starts off with Kira's family coming back from Crimea. They've been in exile since the revolution because her family is bourgeois. The father owned a textile factory, and now they're coming back to adjust to their new life in Petrograd. And it's, the family has to find somewhere to live, find somewhere to eat, find how to exist. And that's kind of Kira's story in this, and her and Leo's story, and Andre's story, and Pavel's story, and Irina's story. As you know, Ayn Rand is no fan of communism and the Soviet state. So this is all about, being an individual and finding a way to be an individual in the state. And obviously the major theme is man versus state. So if that's something that interests you, of course you will love this book. But it's all about having an individual life, not letting the state claim anything over you, not sacrificing anything for the state, having that burning passion to live, that desire that Ayn Rand was such a proponent of. Her character, Kira, really embodies this philosophy that Ayn Rand has about being selfish. And I know that sounds bad, but it's this idea that whatever your desires are, what drives you in life, live for that, do that, make yourself happy. Don't live for somebody else or for something else. Live for yourself. And Kira really goes and does that. And maybe you'll admire that in her, who knows? But there's a quote that I wanted to share with you that I really liked. I always know what I want, and when you know what you want, you go toward it. Sometimes you go very fast, and sometimes only an inch a year. Perhaps you feel happier when you go fast. I don't know. I've forgotten the difference long ago, because it really doesn't matter so long as you move. Which sometimes I wouldn't say I'm as passionate as Kira or as fiery or as selfish, but I do admire her character, and I do think that's true. As long as you move towards what you want in life. That's a great quote to keep in mind. Now, there is a bit of romance in the book, a bit of a love triangle. Don't let that put you off. It's still an amazing book. It's about the struggles of the individual and the state, this new state that's been created, the Soviet Union. How are people living? Obviously not well. Leo, like I said, is very angry at the state. And then you have someone like Andre who just loves it. So it's it's such an interesting read, and it's a wonderful read. And again, if this is interesting to you, Revolutionary Russia, you'll love it. If this whole idea of man versus state is interesting to you, you will love it. You know, and try it. It's something different, I think, a little bit from Fountainhead or Atlas Shrugged. And she says it's her most autobiographical book that she's ever written. So, you know, read it for that as well. Get a look into her life. But I hope you will put it on your bookshelves. I hope you will start reading it. I hope you will fall in love with it. And if you've never read anything else by her, I hope it encourages you to start reading more of her works. But that's We the Living by Ayn Rand. I hope you're intrigued. And I'm looking forward to doing the next recommendation with you. Have a great day. Bye.